We like to be scared. We like to watch scary movies. Some people, they're like really into that. But then as soon as you see like a how it was made, or if you've ever worked on a scary movie, you see all how everything is done, and it's like, and all of a sudden they're not scary anymore. Yeah, so that's going to be what this conversation is about, ICE and some politics. So if you're not interested in that, I understand. You're not offending me. Just keep scrolling. I totally get it, man. But yeah, that's kind of how this is. I think people love entertainment. Human beings, we all love to be entertained. We love a good fight. We love an underdog story. People spend thousands of dollars a year to get season tickets to go watch a football game in the freezing cold when it's like sub freezing temperatures. Right? I mean, like, this is just kind of who we are. People love this kind of stuff. And so when I talk about sort of the math behind ICE and all of this entertainment that we're seeing going on, it's going to rob some of the magic from some of you who love to argue about this kind of stuff. But let's look at the reality. How many people are illegals in Minnesota? 130,000, something like that. Let's triple it and say the number's higher and say it's 400,000. Okay, so out of 400,000, how many are in Texas? Like 3 million? Probably closer to 8. The real numbers are probably closer to somewhere between 5 and 8 million. But let's go with the low number of just 3 million. Only 3 million illegals in Texas. That's just Texas. Why isn't there a focus there? And not only that, it's also a little easier to get stuff done in Texas because it's a little bit warmer. Not today, obviously, but I mean, you get the idea. It's like a little easier to get a few things done than it is to do things in Minnesota, where it's like none of this really makes any sense. This also, the math involved of sending, 30, 40, 50 ICE agents to go round up 8 guys. Here's the real numbers. There's between 600 and 950 anchor babies every day dropped in the U.S. Period. Okay, that's not going to change. Today, there's going to be 600 to 950 anchor babies dropped in the U.S. today. Tomorrow, that number will be the same. And so will the next day, and on and on and on. So if you're doing, let's say, 1,500 whole actual deportations, you have to offset that with, let's just go with the low number of 600. So you're really only getting 900 deportations. And that's assuming that they actually stay out of the country and they don't come back in, and many of them just come right back. So, yeah, I mean, this is pretty futile, the way that they're going about this. So you're like, okay, well, Axel, all right, so what's the solution then? I mean, if we're not going to send out agents to do all this kind of stuff, which was a bad idea to begin with. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, I understand the need for ICE. And again, I support mass deportations. Don't misunderstand me. Don't misread me on this. I'm not a conservative and I'm not a liberal. I don't fit in any of these categories. But I do understand the importance of borders because, well, I mean, dude, there is a financial reality that exists for Americans that live here. So even if I approach it just from the financial aspect, forget everything else, just the financial aspect, I can make a stone cold solid case for why you should have mass deportations and why you shouldn't be allowing this to happen, because other countries wouldn't allow it to happen to them. In other words, other countries wouldn't allow this to happen to their people. So why should we? That right there should be more than enough argument to settle the matter right there. Okay. Well, how would I go about it? All right. Well, I mean, here's the solution. You're not going to like it, but here's the solution. You would devalue the US dollar quickly and from the bottom up, not from the top down. Not this inflation nonsense, this capitalism crap where we protect a handful of billionaires with endless socialism, but we call it capitalism because it makes a handful of boomers feel better about themselves. We all saw the Orange Messiah say that he doesn't want younger people or anybody else to buy houses that are cheaper because that will get rid of the illusion of wealth for the boomers. Those are his words. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but those are his words. He said that. It's all over the internet. You can go look for it. So, no, you would devalue the dollar from the bottom up, and you would do it quickly, like a light switch, like tomorrow morning at 7 kind of thing. You just like a light switch, and devalue it below all of the people that are here because they're just here because the currency buys more in their countries than it does here. Americans are screwed by U.S. dollars. They are. They're wholesale screwed by US dollars because every time Americans earn money, it buys less and less and less. You have but to go to the grocery store to see that, right? This is the truth. This is the reality. So if you devalue it from the bottom up, you do a couple of things. Number one is you wipe out dollar-denominated debt from the bottom up. That's good. The other thing that you do is that the people that are here just for the for the dollars to send back to their countries. I mean, the peso, it's 17 to 1. So for every $1, it's 17 pesos. The rupee, it's 91 to 1. So for $1, it's 91 rupees. In Somalia, it's like 580 Somali, whatever that is they call it. I don't think it's not a dollar. It's something else there. I think it's called coins or something. Anyway, whatever it is. I don't remember what it is. But anyway, it's like 566 to 1. So yeah, you would devalue the currency, and then there you go. And then most people will leave on their own. The vast majority of all people that are here only because of the currency imbalance would leave, which is probably 30 to 40 million people. That's how many people it is. And then of course you're all panicked Americans go, oh my God, that would ruin my currency. Like, well, yeah, but if everybody's on the same playing field, then it's really kind of irrelevant, isn't it? That would cause trade imbalance. Who cares? Make stuff here. Is there some reason we can't make things here? We did for decades. The United States is responsible for one of my favorite airplanes, the P-51. I mean, I like Corsairs too, don't get me wrong, but the P-51 is still my favorite. And yeah, Americans built those here out of aluminum. This is just undeniable reality. It's just a historical fact. Americans built a lot. Did they not? Of course they did. Yeah, Americans built a ton of stuff, didn't they? So why can't they go back to doing that? Oh, there's regulations, this and that. Oh, yeah, you can get rid of all that too. That'd take about an afternoon to get rid of all that. Probably not even an afternoon. You probably do it in about 25 minutes. See, I understand that everybody wants to have the show go on because you don't want to be bored, but it's like, do you want to have a country, or do you want to have just more mindless bullshit entertainment? I'm asking seriously, because I have a hard time understanding why it is anybody cares any longer. Like, is there any wonder why there's so many people that are just basically in despair at this point? Is there any reason why? It shouldn't be any wonder why Americans are as upset as they are. Especially the ones that are trying to work and they're trying to build something. They're trying to build a life for themselves. In other words, the people that are trying to do something. Many of these are younger people. Younger people are trying to have families. They're trying to do a lot of things. And it's not working for them. Why can't that work? Of course it can work. Of course it can work. But it can't work if you're just trying to prop up GDP. It can't work if you're trying to prop up a stock market that should have gone to zero like 5 years ago. It can't work if you're constantly trying to keep the same billionaires in power, in positions of power. These incompetent billionaires, and they are incompetent, most of them, vast majority of them. It's wild listening to billionaires talk about how AI and tech is going to save the world and bring about this socialist utopia while you're watching everything collapse around it. And it's like, dude, are you people delusional? Yes, they are. It's called mass psychosis. They are delusional. They are, in fact, delusional. It's like basketball players or football players or baseball or any ball player that finally spends all their money. They blow through $40 million contract. They have nothing left. Their agents, their lawyers, and everybody else took their chunk out of it. They blew through the rest of it. They bought Bentleys, went out on drinking benders, did all kinds of partying, bought a bunch of houses for all their friends. And then when their career is over, when they're about 34, they go, oh, snap. I've got like another maybe 30, 40, 50, 60, possibly 70 years left. I mean, not typically true for football players, but you get the idea. And I'm broke. Yeah, that's delusional behavior. I mean, there's lots of people trying to maintain standard of living. It's not possible. Do you want to be entertained, or do you want a country?